time?
Well, Mary's a good friend of Bridget's, and neither of them had been at the party to see the incident occur. So I told them about it, and I had hoped that Mary would then speak with Bridget regarding feedback on the incident.
And do you know if she gave Miss O'Shaughnessy feedback? You were asked about an incident where Bridget O'Shaughnessy physically assaulted Mr. Gutman, and I wanted to ask you a little bit about that, other than, well, tell me sort of the setup of the restaurant where this happened.
So, I don't actually recall the name of the restaurant that we were at, but we were... there was a row of windows at the front of the restaurant, and below those were booths, and that's where we were sitting. And a large group of people walked past the window, and Bridget was with them. They saw us, and they entered the front door of the restaurant. They came around, and they sat with us.
Okay.
And well, it was a fairly large restaurant. I remember that the table was about here, and we were in a large back area.
Now, with respect to questions about what adverse employment actions that Mr. Polhouse just asked you about, why was did Walt Houston leave voluntarily from the company?
Lax Foundation.
Do you know?
Yes, I know.
And did he?
Yes, he did. He went on a sabbatical, and then shortly after left the firm.
Did he do that with a severance agreement?
Lax Foundation.
My recollection is that he received the same severance package that any other director would have received had they left the company.
Was his position eliminated?
Lax Foundation calls for speculation.
No, his position was not eliminated. He was offered another position.
I mean, if you were describing the event, would you say that she intended to assault anyone other than Casper?
Objection. Calls for speculation.
No, when she said, "You fat, bloated idiot," I kind of assumed she was referring to Casper Gutman.
And And do you have a recollection of who was involved in this discussion where she slapped Mr. Gutman?
Mischaracterizes the testimony.
No, I do not have any recollection as to who she was sitting with or conversing with.
Okay. Why didn't you report it to HR at that time?
Well, because it wasn't necessarily a work event. It was an occurrence that I had merely caught the tail end of. And the only thing that was personally important to me was that Bridget received some feedback regarding the incident.
Okay. Did you ever talk to Miss O'Shaughnessy personally about that incident?
No.
Have you ever attempted to punish anyone for reporting discrimination or harassment in the workplace?
No.
Have you ever tried to take any sort of adverse employment action against someone for a reason that was something other than job performance?
No.
Who asked him to do that?
I did.
What position was he asked to take?
Well, the senior director of general support.
And what was he before?
He was the senior director of marketing and long-term strategies.
So he was going to go from director to senior director.
Correct.
And that was a demotion?
Correct.
Why? Why was he being asked to take a lesser role?
Well, because the organization had doubled in size, and the organization we had at that time didn't seem to fit with the position that he had. So with a great deal of consultation, and in the end, my decision, I said, we would love to have you stay, but this is the position we would like to offer you.